has been such a long time. That's what it feels like, a century, right? And I was supposed to be at work tonight, and I was like, you know what? Let me get up on YouTube and let the world know that people are still alive and not deceased. I've kind of been like putting this off. Well, how can I put this? If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you know, I've been wanting to revamp the whole page. So I'm here to kind of talk about all of that. And I guess answer a few questions, because I know like people be blowing me up. Thank you. I get a lot of questions on my DMs on Instagram, sometimes on Snapchat, and that anonymous app. The anonymous app, I get a lot of questions on that anonymous app, and I really haven't been answering them. So, y'all know, like, I'm the one that's like, into the social media. So, I put certain things out there, and then other things, I keep to myself. But I am here to, answer some questions to get some things out the way. So, you thought that it wasn't a channel no more. It's still up. And then I kept telling people that. I was just like nobody died. Like, there's still a YouTube channel. It's just that we haven't been posting. But like I said, it's because moving and everything. There's a lot of things going on, and like I'm gonna take the channel into a whole nother direction. A friend of mine, her sister, actually agreed to sit down and help me work out some plans to get endorsements. So, I hope I'm saying your name right, Jana. I don't think it's Jenna. It might be Jana. Thank you. I think I'm going to wait and see if a few more people join, because I have some things to talk about, some interesting things. How do you pronounce your name? Send me the phonetic. So send me the phonetic spelling so I can see the phonetic spelling of your name. Good evening. Good evening. Jana. Jana. Is that right, Jana? Or is it like Jana? Or, because I know sometimes the emphasis might be on like certain things. One or the other. Okay. I'm trying to think if I should get this. Like Janae? Jana. I'm like fucking your shit up hard. Jana. Is it Jana? Somebody said Janae. That's what I was like. Well, I don't think it's going to be Janae. It could be. I could be wrong. It could be Janae. Janae? Like Janae? guys got me out in these streets. Say Jana. Jana. Like, I'm like really fucking shit up over here. Jana. Hey. All right, listen. So guys. It's a few of y'all in here. It's not like a shitload, but the reason why I wanted to get up on YouTube is because there are some things that we, as in us and you guys, need to talk about. So, I like, all right, I'm taking the YouTube in a completely different direction. I've said that a million times before. I'm getting new sets and everything else like that. But I think that there's like really important things that you guys need to know. I get a lot of questions over and over again, and this is something that I've been putting off because people realize things like, it's not just people following us on, on here, but on Instagram as well, and people starting to realize some things. If you guys were personally on our Facebook pages, me and April's Facebook, then you would have more insight into what's going on. But don't blow me up, and, don't like, I feel like everybody's going to be up in arms, but April and I are getting a divorce. So I know I'm going to be hit with a flood of questions and comments. I know a lot of you guys are here for April. Some people are here for me. Yes, April and I are getting a divorce. I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. All right, so when you are in a relationship, somebody dropped out. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, y'all. It's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. Thank you. It's not the end of the world. And this is the thing that a lot of people have to understand is that the reason why everybody felt like April and I had a perfect relationship. Don't cry. It's not anything to cry over. It's nothing to cry over at all. If I'm not crying telling you guys, it's like, it's going to be okay. And this is like, all right, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not okay to air your dirty laundry out on the internet. So nobody knew when me and April would have disagreements. Nobody knew when we would have arguments and things like that. Like, you would know. And if you were on our Facebook page, like when we wouldn't be speaking in person, you would never know, because like we would still tag each other and stuff on Facebook and things like that. Like, nobody would never know. When you're with somebody, you have to be able to deal with your issues from the past. And this is not a blame April type of situation. This is not a blame Marquita type of situation. This is two people that are in love have to work together to find median. Like, when I say I'm taking the YouTube in a different direction, a lot of you may know, a lot of you may not know, the YouTube was always mine. So it's going to continue to be mine. Point blank period. I had said it before that like getting April to sit down with YouTube was like pulling teeth. Because of the stage that we are now, I would have loved for April to come and sit down and tell her side of things and, just get some things off her chest, because I feel like she has a right to have a platform the same way I have a right to have a platform. But unfortunately, guys, we're just not there. Maybe in the future, I would love to have April on. I would love for her to be able to, sit down and talk. We did go to therapy. Unfortunately, April felt as though, like, she just didn't want to. She didn't want to deal with it. And that's completely fine. Point blank period. You can't force somebody to do what they don't want to do. I think the biggest problem is like I said, that we both had issues in our past, things that I wasn't willing to deal with, things that she wasn't willing to deal with. And these things cause problems in relationships. The type of relationship that, like you have with your family and with your friends, or like coworkers and stuff like that. Like, these type of things can cause conflict. And I'm not saying that, Not saying that like people like were putting their 2 cents in. Of course, people were putting their 2 cents in, but I mean like issues. So, for example, like I don't have a real relationship with my mother, and because of this, like I put a lot of pressure on April. Like that was my problem. Um, One thing as well, and like I said, this is hard to go through a divorce. Is hard for anybody, so don't go blowing up April page, and don't leave nasty comments or anything like that, because we're still healing, we're still human. Somebody just said that we're still young, and we are still young, and life goes on, and you have to pick yourself up, and you have to be strong for yourself and understand that sometimes some things don't work out, maybe in the future, maybe not. It just, for right now, it is what it is. But what I will say is that when it comes to the YouTube channel, I am going to be 100% frank, honest, and real with y'all. There are going to be things that I'm going to talk about that might make some people uncomfortable. I noticed that when it comes to lesbians and divorces and breakups and stuff like that, they don't talk about it. Like, not on YouTube. I'm going to tell y'all about my divorce. I'm going to tell you what led up to the divorce. I'm going to tell you, the process of going through the divorce. So for example, I still have both me and April wedding dresses. I brought hers for a gift, and, like, I have them. I'm going to have to part ways with them at some point in time, but right now I'm not ready to. I'm not. I have our cutlery set and our flutes, and I'm like, it's hard for me to let go of these things, because like deep down inside, like I still have love for April. I do. I do. And I think deep down inside she probably still have love for me, but when you're going through something like this, like it's just a hard pill to swallow for anybody. So the only thing I ask is that like you don't go bombarding her. Like when you guys track her down, she's not a social media fanatic, so I don't know how often she should be putting up videos and stuff like that, but or posts or anything on Instagram or whatever. She doesn't have a Snapchat, but I don't know how often she's going to do those things. But if you guys go, like, just give her encouraging words and tell her, like, it's going to be okay. And, like, I think that right now it's very important to support us both. I can't support April the way I probably would like to support her, but from a distance, like, I got to back off and let her do her thing and let her live her life and stuff like that. And I would appreciate it if everybody else, did the same. Like I said, I'm going to talk about our divorce. There are going to be happy moments. There are going to be moments when I share intimate moments with you guys that I share with her. There are going to be moments when I break down and I cry, but that's the realness of it all. There's nothing that you can do about it. At one point in time, I was crying every single day. Every single day. It got to the point where I had to put, post-its on the bathroom mirror saying, "You're enough. Like, you're loved. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it through this." Now, I want to say maybe like I have one really, really bad day once out of every 2 or 3 weeks. Um, April and I actually have been separated for quite a few months. She already moved, but I'm excited to say that I am moving into brand new lofts. They're still currently being built. I was already approved, did my down payment and everything. So like I feel like me walking away from this marriage is me walking towards life. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing for April. And, like, it's just like, it's for right now, it's all love. I don't know once the actual divorce actually like gets started. I don't know what it's going to turn into, because that's a very bitter moment for anybody. I hate when people say, "Oh, it was an amicable agreement." Not necessarily. Y'all niggas was probably behind closed doors going through the worst. But like I said, I'm going to share all of this with you guys. One thing that I didn't want to talk about before, but I'm more than willing to talk about it now: lesbians and open relationships. Because what a lot of people don't know is that towards the end of my actual marriage, prior to being separated from April, we actually got into an open relationship. Not a smart move at all. Not a smart move. I think that was one of the things, as a matter of fact, April actually expressed to me that that was one of the things that put the nail in the coffin. And I'm going to explain why. April's in therapy right now. I'm in therapy, like I said, for a little stint of time. We did couples therapy. This also will be therapy for me, so I'll be able to vent. I'll be able to tell you guys like what's on my mind. I wish that April could come and do the same thing, but we're just not at that point. I'm going to try and continue on. As far as my personal life goes, I get so many messages. Like, it's so crazy. People saying, "Are you single? Did you get a divorce? Are you still with April?" And I don't know if people are generally concerned or if they just want to slide in my DMs. I think that's a bigger reason as to why I haven't been responding to a lot of those questions. And people, I need you guys to understand that when it comes to things like that, because I'm in therapy, I need to get myself healthy for whoever I'm going to deal with next. I've seen people that got divorced and then 5 years later they got remarried. I'm not saying that that's going to happen in my situation with April right now. It damn sure ain't going to happen. But the fact of the matter is that I'm in therapy to work on me, to get right with my past and my issues, and just try and become a better person for myself. So in the future, when I am ready for a relationship, full blown, I won't be bringing in extra baggage whatsoever. Um, Let me see. You guys actually have been writing a lot. Yeah, April and I were very, 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 very different. And that's another thing that I want to address. This is not a bash April station. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow anybody to come up under here and write anything negative about April. I would hope that you guys wouldn't write anything negative about me. But please also understand that everything that I speak of is from my viewpoint. And that's one of the reasons why I would like April to come on here and, explain her viewpoint. Even if we were to get into an argument in front of y'all, like, I wouldn't even care because, like, I think it's very important that she has a platform, not just me. So that's another thing. Um, yeah, I did have to clear the air, and like I said, it's something that I've been holding very near and dear to me because I love April. I think the hardest thing that I had to do was give my ring back. But it was something that I had to do because, like, every so often I would put it on and I would look at it on my finger, and all these memories would come flooding back in, and that hurt. That hurt to know, like, I built something with somebody and it didn't last. But listen, guys, it's very, 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 very important. Get right with yourself, because if you can't get right with yourself, you can't get right with nobody. And that's one thing, like, April used to tell me all the time, like, the issues that you face, like, they stem from your mom, they stem from this, they stem from that. And I didn't want to hear her because I was so terrified to deal with the hurt that, I had endured as a child. I had to deal with the hurt that I endured as a teenager. I was bullied, I was picked on. Like, I suffer from the ugly duckling syndrome. Like, nobody wanted me. Like, these things happen and they affect you. They affect you hardcore. I did things, to fill that void, and that's not good. It's not good whatsoever. And what happens to you when you're young affects you as an adult, but it also affects all your relationships. April stood by my side until she felt as though she couldn't anymore. And I completely understand it. Because hindsight is fucking everything now. It's everything. Everything. So like I said, I started noticing that, especially when it comes to the lesbian community, we don't discuss divorce. We don't tell people what happens, when you're going through the process of marriage. You don't tell people what happens when you're in the process of going to couples therapy. Because, couples therapy is some hardcore shit. I'm going to tell you guys about what happened, the discussions that we happened, the things that, were said that I may have agreed with, I may have not agreed with, April didn't agree with, or April did agree with. I'm going to tell you guys everything. I'm going to be 100% an open book. You'll see, clarity in my and my stories. Like, it is what it is. You guys got to know the truth. It's all about the truth. I would like to start bringing other people on here as well. Like I said, I'm actually trying to take it into the point where it will be a bigger and better YouTube channel, and I'm gonna bring other gays on here. I'm gonna bring other lesbians on here. I met some pretty awesome people in my time of being by myself. So it's like, why not? What can I lose? Why not? So I am going to start putting tags on the videos. You can't put tags on a live video until after it's posted because live videos are saved. So that's when I have to do that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put tags on it and let people know. Spread the fucking word. Spread the word. Like, there is nothing more real than somebody talking about a divorce. When I was talking to my therapist a couple of weeks ago, and I let her know that this was something that I was interested in doing, as far as bringing my divorce to the public. Well, because I wasn't in a marriage by myself, bringing our divorce to the public. She said that actually be a really good idea for therapy. So that's another reason why I also decided to do it. Well, this is the thing. I'm not. I believe your name is Janice. It could be Janice. I could be fucking it up right now. You said clear mind, body, and soul. No new relationship for at least a year or two. It doesn't work like that. You have to move at your own pace. And believe it or not, it's so crazy because when I started to get right with myself, my world started to come together. I got my dream apartment and like up and coming bougie neighborhood in Philadelphia. I just got a new car. You know, I went from working at a hospital making, I want to say probably about like $875 every 2 weeks to banking damn near $1,000 every week. Crazy, right? Therapy, with the help that my therapist gives me, like it brings clarity into my world. So I'm not going to limit myself based on what like other people's experiences. No, I want to get out there and I want to meet new people and I want to date. Like I want to experience life. When I say that I'm going to talk about everything in my relationship, it's going to be things that blow your mind. It's going to be things that, so for example, none of you are on our personal Facebook page, but on Facebook, I talked about how there was an incident with April friend, and she gripped me up by my arm, and she was getting in my business. And when I stood up for myself, I got in trouble for standing up for myself. And what I mean by that is, like, on the spot, April broke up with me because her friend assaulted me. Things like that will happen. Things that, like, I don't really understand, like, as your woman, and this is before we were even married, as your woman, some things are just not okay whatsoever. I would never let one of my friends do that. Was not to the woman I love. Because we were in love by this point in time. I'm not going to let somebody put their hands on you and I'm going to just idly stand by. And then when you defend yourself, when you speak up for yourself, I'm not going to kick you to the curb. Like, this is an issue that April had. This is an issue that leaked into our relationship. It's one thing to be non-confrontational, but, it's another to just, like, let shit like that happen. Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. I'm reading the last couple of comments that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, guys. It's going to be okay. Like I said, like I still have mad love for April. Like we we go through our little petty shit, but that's normal. No, don't show your girlfriend. Don't show your girlfriend. Yeah, I'm really sorry, and like I said, like I've been putting it off because people, they just contact me over and over again. I think people know that I'm more of the social media presence, and like I'll get messages on Snapchat. When you open that message up, that joint automatically read, and I'm like, I don't want to respond to it. And then, like, sometimes when I would get on live on Instagram, people would be like, where's April at? How come April's not next to you? How come you haven't been posting any pictures of April? And I would just act like I didn't see it. I literally would act like I didn't see it because it wasn't something that I was ready to deal with whatsoever. I wasn't ready. Let me see. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's never okay to choose between your spouse and your friends. And like I said, at this point in time, we wasn't even married. Like there was one situation, yo, I'm not lying about this. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. April's old best friend used to dog her out to me. And I would go to April like, how is this girl your best friend? And she talks shit about you to me. And April would be like, oh, she doesn't do that and it's that and the third and that's not true. And, you know, we discussed this situation when it came to the boundaries video. You guys could go back and that's who we were talking about when it came to somebody in April's life. It was April's old best friend. April's best friend disrespected me at a party that I wasn't at. And then her wife cousin, and her wife friends ganged up on April about me, asking about me. So I asked April, I'm like, well, let me come down and confront her because I don't know if y'all know, but I can get ratchet. And one thing I don't do is you don't fuck with my woman, you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with my money, and you don't fuck with my food. Point blank period. So, like, now that you're out and you know April's non-confrontational and you're asking all these questions about my relationship and I'm not there to answer them, oh, now I got to step to you because we got an issue. We've always had an issue, but now I'm bringing that shit to your front door and now I'm going to question you. So the part of Philadelphia that we were living in together, we actually both still live in the same part. It's so crazy. I still live in the same building. April actually moved across the street, which is like the weirdest thing ever. But either way, down the street from us, probably about like a good 6-7 minutes away, is a museum. So the altercation that happened, I believe it was on like a Saturday night. And then that Tuesday, April took the best friend to the museum for her birthday. So I'm like, cool, y'all going down to the museum. I'll come down there and meet you. So April's like, no, don't do that. I know how you are. I don't need you to smack the shot at this girl. And I was like, well, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. I will slap fire out her ass. But okay, we'll get past that. I never went because April asked me not to go. But it bothered me that when April came home, she was in tears talking about how her best friend and her best friend's wife treated her at that birthday party. And you turned around on Tuesday and you took her out to the museum. So I downloaded a phone recorder to my phone and I had the girl call me. So she didn't think anything of it. I had her call me and I recorded the whole conversation. She was dogging April out. So when I told her, like, this conversation has been recorded, I will be playing it for April, she was like, oh, I don't give a fuck you, bitch, and it's that and the third, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't even care. You'll never say it to my face, so I don't care, because I'll dog you and your wife out. Your hoes better jump me, because if y'all don't jump me, I'm going to knock one out, and then I'm going to come after the other one. Cool. So, later on, when me and April, ultimately decided that it was what it was as far as our marriage went, and that, I don't even think that we were fully at the point of divorce at this point in time. I think we might have still been in couples therapy. She came to me and told me that I was a fucked up individual for overstepping my boundaries and stepping to her best friend, her best friend at the time. And I'm like, how is that even possible? And she was like, because I told you I would handle it. You never handled it. You took the girl out for her birthday and celebrated with her. And it's a million pictures on Facebook to prove it. So you let your friend, her wife, her cousin, and her friends disrespect me when I wasn't around. And when I speak up for me, myself, and my relationship with you, I'm overstepping my boundaries. And I'm wrong. No, see, you got the game fucked up. That's not what that is. If you handled your business and shut the shit down from the beginning, I wouldn't have to step in. But I feel like you don't. And you never do. And that's the saddest part about it, is because when things like that happen, it's never okay to turn against your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, especially when you blatantly see the evilness that your best friend is spewing. For 3 years, maybe like 2.5, 3 years, I was telling April, like, I don't trust this girl, everything else. I personally think that the best friend was in love with April. I would let her know that, like, every time something would happen, like, she would start with me. Your best friend has crawled in my DMs and cursed me out and told me that I shouldn't be with you. It's none of your business. If your best friend is saying that she's happy with me, why are you crawling in my DMs? Even if we have an argument, that's what happens sometimes. Couples argue. But for you to go out your way and tell me that I don't deserve to be with April because we got into an argument, well, did you think that you did deserve to be with her? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at my hair and it's, it's like crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, but like, did you think that you deserved to be with her? For you to go that far? I'm gonna show y'all a picture of Pride. The very first Pride me and April went to. I swear to God, we had coordinating outfits. It was so cute because I had our shirts made, and that I dressed us like we would coordinate all the time. Yo, I'm not kidding. I was online talking to one of my friends, and I told my friend about the outfit. I do believe the best friend seen the conversation because she showed up to Pride with the same exact outfit. I had the shirts made. She came in with something that was like so like Mike. I wanted to kill myself. This was the day after she was telling me that I shouldn't even be with April. And like it was just so many different situations, and the saddest part about it is that I ride for mine. April, no, don't let nobody disrespect you. I'm around because I'm gonna beat they fucking ass. I've kicked friends to the curb for disrespecting April. You disrespect her one time, I'm going to say something. You disrespect her twice, I'm going to cut you off for like a week or two. The third time, bitch, you're done. You're done. Because don't nobody on this earth got a perfect fucking relationship. Not one single fucking person. And I'd be damned if I let the next person that don't have a perfect relationship disrespect the woman that I'm with. It's not going to happen. I ride for mine. Ride for mine. It's not to the point where like I'm out starting fights. This it's not that thing. But if somebody girl, we gonna have a problem. We're going to have a problem. I'm going to check you and anybody else you fucking standing with. Don't disrespect mine. When it came to April, it was the complete opposite. It was. It was the complete opposite. And I think that's what hurt the most. Because time and time again, her friends would disrespect me. At the end of our relationship, when we knew 100% that we would be getting divorced, one of April's friends was like, well, why don't you just kick Marquita out on the street? Wow. I'm going to tell y'all a little something about me. I have an ex-girlfriend. I used to live in upstate New York. And I have an ex-girlfriend that I was with. And when we broke up, she didn't have a place to go. She bounced around for a little bit. She tucked her tail between her legs and she came to me and she was like, I don't have nowhere to go. Can you just let me stay with you until, you get on your feet? I get on my feet. And I was like, that's fine. You can come stay here. Just know that we do have boundaries. Ain't gonna be no sex or anything like that. And, like if my door closed, just knock. Now, I'm not gonna make it an uncomfortable situation and bring girls back to the house. Because you're my ex-girlfriend, I think that it's a certain type of level of respect I expect for you not to do it. And in return, I won't do it to you. Point blank, period. Just respect my privacy and understand that, we have rules now. It's not like it was where, you hop out the shower and lay up with me. It doesn't work like that. But I didn't kick her out. Even when she started dating other women, she actually started dating her best friend's ex-girlfriend. And then she got engaged while living with me. And it's so crazy because it happened so fast. This is not a long period of time, which means that she was only doing it because she was hurt. So, she started dating her ex-girlfriend, her best friend's ex-girlfriend, and I think probably within like 3 weeks or a month, they were engaged, and it was all over the internet. And people were coming to me, and they were like, you don't feel no type of way. And I'm like, no. Only because she's a grown woman. She's going to do what she wants to do. That's her relationship. It has nothing to do with me. But she lives with you, but it has nothing to do with me. For you to even consider kicking me out, and I'm like, well, I'll pay you rent. Like, it's just a lot of things that happen. A lot of things that happen. KN, you said this was a no bashing April episode. I also said that you guys have to understand that this is things from my point of view. So, these are things that contributed to the downfall of the relationship. And this is the exact reason why I said that I would love for April to come on here and discuss her side of things. Because the same way I have an opinion, she does. And it's not fair that I have a platform and she doesn't. Now, if she decides to make a YouTube page, which 9.9 times out of 10 she won't, then, she can talk about things like that. But I did specifically say that these are things from my point of view. Even if I'm telling you facts that happened in our relationship, I'm not sitting up here saying, fuck April. That's not the case. If you remember, I said that I do still have love for her, regardless of what we went through. Let me see. Oh, wait, how did I do that? Oh, I zoomed in. Sorry about that. I love how real y'all were. And I wanted to last too. I did. And I fought hard to try and make it last, but yeah. Hershey Baby said that April was probably venting them. I know for a fact that her best friend felt some type of way about me from the first time I met her. So I thought that was really, really strange. When I say from the very first time that I met her, it was really weird. You said love yourself and try to love before you try and love somebody else. That's the thing about it. That's why I'm in therapy. I'm in therapy because I do have to love myself first. I have to figure out where I went wrong in my past to fix it for my future. So that's very important. Me and my best friend used to be sexually active. Our partners never knew until, she started acting jealous. She actually met her best friend through one of her friends when her friend started dating the best friend. That's why I said I felt as though the best friend was in love with April, because within like months of meeting her, she made her best friend. The godparents to her sons, who were already like 4 and 5 or something like that, or 4 and 6. And then she also made her the maid of honor at her wedding. I thought that was really strange because I found out later on in the future that those kids have multiple sets of godparents. And I was like, why would somebody put you in so many like prominent positions? But that was my personal opinion. I don't know. When I talked to like other people about it, like my best friend felt the same way. She felt the same exact way. And my best friend actually met her best friend once, and she just thought it was weird. Like, the best friend actually would instigate arguments. It was one time we got into a really, really bad argument, and she actually instigated it. And the next morning, I showed April the text messages that her best friend was sending me. And that was just like a crazy situation. And April still decided to be friends with her. And I was just like, wow. And I told her, I was like, if that's who you want to be friends with, that's who you want to be friends with. But I don't want to be around her. So, we had that mutual understanding. April understood it like completely. How long were we married for? October 31st will make 1 year. So we didn't even make it a whole year, which is like the craziest part about it. It happens. We've been together we were together for like 4 years. So, what would I do differently? All right. April's a very intuitive person. So one thing that I would have did differently is I actually would have listened to her, because she would tell me like, you're battling your past. You're battling hurt feelings that stem from other situations. Deal with those and, you'll be a better person. I think that if I dealt with those different things, like, I would be a better person. I feel like I'm a better person now because I'm dealing with those things. I feel like, sometimes it's a struggle, but you have to remember that you create your destiny. I've allowed other people to create my destiny for me, and that, like, down to my parents. I'm 30 years old. Why am I letting things that my mom said to me when I was 9 affect me? I shouldn't. So that's one thing I would have listened. I would have dealt with my past. Definitely. Yeah, it is my truth. It is my truth and my truth only, and that's what I try to explain to people. If others don't understand it, unfortunately, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. Like I said, if April decides to come on here, if it's a year down the road, if it's 2 years down the road, that's completely fine with me. So, um, you've been in therapy? Yeah, it does take a lot of courage. And like I said, once I got into individual therapy and I started to work on me, things got so much better in my life. My therapist was like, yo, you did a 3 week turnaround. And I was like, bitch, tell me about it. I am out here hustling for everything I want, grinding hard, you know. It's really sad to say because I've been told multiple times in my life that I wouldn't be anything, I wouldn't have anything, I won't have anything nice. It's not like I was out fucking people over, stealing and robbing and stuff like that. It's just that I'm one of those people that, like, at a young age, I was taught that I would never be smart enough to go to college. You know, I would never have passion and, you know, taking my life to the next level. But I found where I want to be and I found where I want to go. And even if it took me 30 years, I found it. Um, I had to deal with a small form of that, a certain form of that from April and her mom. So once I was actually able to let all of those things go, the feelings that I harbored against those statements that were said to me by multiple people, I was actually able to shake all of that and, you know, just move on to better. So that was very interesting. Do you think it's possible to get over those past hurt? Okay, so this is my thing, right? Sometimes it might take years to get over hurt feelings. So the first woman that I ever fell in love with, my ex, when I was 17, I was head over heels for her. And I want to say it probably took me like a good 5 years to get over her. But that was the first heartbreak. And during those 5 years, I did have relationships. And whether it was me walking away or the other person walk away, I didn't let those hurt feelings from my ex stop me from having healthy relationships with other people. What I will say is that if you're going to have a healthy relationship with other people, you have to work on yourself simultaneously. And it is possible. When we were in couples therapy, the therapist, because we sat down with two different therapists and they said the same exact thing. You can do it. You just have to work hard simultaneously. If you feel like you're up to it, then be up to it. If you feel like you're not, then it's safe to say that it probably wouldn't work out for you. So, you know, you got to figure out what's best for you. This is another reason why, like, you can't always take advice from other people. Don't ask me for relationship advice. I'm going through a divorce. I can't help y'all. This is new for me. This is new for April. You know, being in a relationship is not new, but because we have a failed marriage under our belt, I'm not even sure if talking about a relationship is the best thing, like, to ask me to do. You know, I can talk about my downfalls and what I would do differently, but I can't tell somebody what I feel as though they should do, because obviously if I was such an expert, I wouldn't be going through a divorce. I would be still happily married, you know? So, anybody else has any questions? This has been on for 43 minutes, and I just knew the response that I was going to get was going to be a different type of response. I didn't think that anybody was going to be happy about unless somebody planning on sliding in my DMs, and it's been happening a lot. It's been happening. I get those, you know, those females like, so I heard you might be single, and I'm like, okay, all right, guys, like, her side of the bed isn't even cold yet. Like, let me get a few minutes. Let me get a few minutes. Do I think that getting married? No, I don't. And the only reason why I say that getting married didn't change our relationships is because we still had the same problems. You know, it's not like you get married and problems just pop up out of nowhere. Guys, what I will say is that if you are going to get married, fix your problems, because marriage does not make problems go away. We 100% knew that because we talked about that. We understood that from the beginning. I don't think that my DMs are going to be ringing off the hook. Let me see. Do I got any already? No. No. I don't think that'll be ringing off the hook. I think that, people will be understanding to my situation. If you guys want to, go on over the April page and just give her encouraging words, let her know that I sent you. No, I'm just kidding. This is a tough time. It's a tough time. And, I want everybody in the situation to be okay. That's not just me and April. I want our 2 cats to be okay. She does have the cats. I will say that. But, I want everything for everybody to just, You know what? Letitia, what I will say is that everything that could have been done was done. When somebody loses the will to continue a relationship, it's very hard to get that back. What I will say is, and the therapist explained this to April, my best friend actually brought this up to me a few days ago. You can't take your problems and bounce them off the person that you're with. So the same way I had issues in our relationship and I can 100% admit them, April had issues. And everybody around me, and I'm not lying when I say this. One of my friends told me, I want to say maybe about a month ago, she was like, I hate to tell you this, but you're in a toxic relationship with April. And after DM, let everyone know in the live chat that I'm on it. Yo, you wildin'. Sade Bennett, you wildin'. My best friend, well, not my best friend, one of my friends told me, she was like, you're in a toxic relationship with April. And I was like, well, why do you say that? She was like, because you have to understand that every time there was an issue, you were always at fault. There is no way under the sun that every single time there was an issue, it was always you that were the problem. Why is it that when her friends do something, she gets on your case? When her friends disrespect you, she breaks up with you? If her hair isn't done, it's because you didn't do it. Everything is always your fault, your problem, you did this, you did that, and she's right. One of our last sessions of couples therapy, April told the therapist, I know that I'm depressed because of Marquita. I'm not keeping myself up because of Marquita. The therapist said that that's not true. She was like, you're not keeping yourself up because you're not keeping yourself up. You're using Marquita as a scapegoat. And she was like, I'm going to tell you right now, April, you suffer from anxiety. You suffer from depression. These things are what leads you. They lead you into making irrational decisions. Don't divorce Marquita. Don't do it. She was like, you're not ready for it. You don't want to do it. She was like, you have to conquer everything that you're going through, and you can do it with her. Conquer it. April didn't want to conquer it for whatever reason. She didn't want to conquer it. And it's sad to say that, the therapist was like, these issues are going to come up in your next relationship. You think that by running away from her, you're running towards something, you're running towards something better, but you're not. You're running away from your problems only to run towards them later on. So that's why I'm happy that she's in therapy now. And one of my friends also said that April is very impressionable, and so she allows other people to impose on her what they think is best for her. And I want to say that that's true. I do think it's true. So I do hope that when it comes to that aspect of her life, even if it's not with me, she gains control of it so she can be better for the next person that she's with. I do 100% sincerely, feel that way. Hurt folk do hurt folk. I'm going to tell you that, honestly, Shay. Because when I always heard I was doing petty things to April, like real petty things. Like, oh, this is her favorite brush. Let me toss this shit. Stuff like that. But like I said, I had to get right with myself in order to move on from that. So, I've learned that you have to pay attention of who you speak on your relationship, even if it's a best friend. There are people who will try and get in your head. You know what? It's funny that you say that because when we were in front of the therapist and I started telling the therapist about everything that would happen with me and April friends, she looked at April and she was just like, I really wonder if these people that you consider your friends are really your friends. She was just like, because there's no rebuttal to what Marquita is saying, that tells me that everything that she's saying is the truth. And it sounds like these people that you have in your life are not healthy whatsoever. My best friend told me a long time ago, she was like, regardless of what you go through with April, you love her. And because you love her, I will never say anything bad about her. That is the woman you love. I have a lot of respect for her. Ask me if it was like that with April friends. Dog me the fuck out. Every chance they got, dog me out. For what? For what? It's cool though. It's whatever. Like, it's whatever. She chooses to have those people in her life that, that's her decision. She's grown. We're all grown. I have the people in my world that I want in my world. And I'm looking forward to learning and getting to know and getting to meet even more people. I'm working on my social anxiety. So hopefully one day I'll be able to go out and make, like a shitload of friends and feel comfortable in my skin to just be like, yo, these are like amazing people. There's never any drama. There's never any problems. Like this just, it feels really, really good. It feels amazing. So that's what I want. um, yeah, as a black community, we don't typically go to counseling. And I'll say that about my relationship with April. For the longest time, I was like, oh, we can fix our own problems. Fuck counseling. We can fix our own problems. Like, we can do this. I had more faith in my relationship than I should have had in professionals. And I do wish that I would have went to counseling earlier. I remember one day April brought counseling up to me and I was so offended. We got into an argument. I was like, what? Counseling? For what? We don't need counseling. We're good. We definitely needed counseling. Definitely. So, yeah. Let's see. We all have a part and have acknowledged our parts because we have a different approach. Listen, that's another thing. Take accountability. Whatever you do in a relationship, take fucking accountability. If you do not take accountability, you're not doing anything. You're not getting nowhere. Take accountability for what you do. Even if it's something petty, if it's something like, like, if y'all watch Love and Hip Hop, y'all seen that, Brooke went off with Booby and did all this other stuff, and she was just like, oh, I was hurt. No, take accountability for what you do and what you did and what you say and how you act. And I think towards the end, I really started to take accountability, but April's biggest problem with me was she was just like, you take accountability, but then you turn around and you do things. And so I explained to her, I'm still a work in progress. I do things when I feel like you're trying to play me, when I feel like you're trying to hurt me, when I feel like you're trying to stab me in my back. Then I feel like I'm backed in the corner and I got to lunge at you. And when I lunge at you, I'm vicious. And I don't mean physically. I mean, I'm very witty. I put it to you like that. I'm very witty and I'm quick on my feet. I will come up with some shit at the drop of a dime and you'll be standing there with your mouth open feeling salty, mad as all hell, and I'm going to look at you with a grin like, you didn't think I was going to say that, did you? But I did. And it caught you off guard. Now you got that look I was looking for. So, it's not okay. It's not okay whatsoever. Stuff that like that is not okay. And we have something, that's definitely the Aries part of me. We have something called fair fighting rules. So I try to use my fair fighting rules. I try and argue fairly because there's a way to argue fairly. I have to learn as a person that getting louder does not get my point across because I will yell and curse you the fuck out and I will scream at the top of my lungs and it is horrible. For whoever has ever heard it, their ears probably have never stopped bleeding. It's very, very horrible. I had to work on that. I do. April was trying to be two people. K Can you please elaborate on she was trying to be two different people? April's a very, 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 very goofy individual. She's very intelligent, but she's also very goofy. So I will say that I don't personally think that she ever tried to be two different people. I do believe that sometimes she can be very, very misunderstood, but she's very goofy. She's very intelligent. She can be very dippy too. So the thing about it, Sade, is that I can go 0 to 100, but like I said, I'm very witty. So when I go from 0 to 100, like my brain just starts churning out like a million miles per minute, man. I just be going in. Letitia, how would I know what? How is your YouTube channel going? I gotta stop past there. Listen, y'all, when I be on YouTube, I be on Desus and Miro, and that's it. I looks at nothing else. Desus and Miro be having me dying. But you ask, how do I know? How do I know what? I gotta do my nails. I said I was gonna do that tonight. Thank you for the well wishes, Shay. What I will say is that when it comes to looking for, like finding what I'm looking for in me, I can't look for stuff in other people. I have to find it in me first. Once I'm okay with me, I'm okay with everybody else. Other than that, it's always going to be eternal struggle. So, one thing I learned. Yeah, your verbal lashes be vicious, and you from Philly. What part of Philly you from? Because like you know, like we just, in a quick second, fuck out of here, man. Fuck is you talking about? You used to get real reckless out of nowhere. Yeah, your feelings will get hurt in 2.5 seconds, and it's so bad, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Oh, you from Germantown? I'm from Germantown. I don't live in Germantown now, but that's where I grew up. In Germantown. Yeah, girl. High five, high five. We got something coming and shit. You said that she took my side. Well, this is the thing, right? I personally, and this is my personal opinion, I personally feel like April took other people's side before she took mine. When we got married, that's when she stood up for me more. But before we were actually married, I do feel like she took other people's side before she took mine. When you allow people to do stuff, and then like if you speak up about it, and then like you go back to being hunky dory like nothing ever happened, which side of mine are you taking? No, you put your foot down and you leave it down. Don't put it down and pick it up slowly. You gotta put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Yep. The first woman I ever loved was a Sagittarius. And so I think that Sagittarius and Aries, if I'm not mistaken, I don't really know much about zodiac sign. I think they're okay together, but I don't know. Obviously, she and I wasn't okay together because we didn't work out. You said you're not consistent with your YouTube. As far as picking up the camera, your consistency is going to do with comfort. So yeah, once you get more comfortable, it's something completely different. My consistency fell apart because it was like a battle between me and April. I'd be like, come on, let's make a video today. And she'd be like, why? And then next thing you know, like a whole month will pass. And I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? So that's one thing that my apartment is actually going to be finished because it's still being built. It's brand new. I'm the first one moving in. I move in December 15th, so I'll probably do a few more live videos. And then once I get settled into my new place, I'll be able, like I said, I want to get better sets and stuff like that. And I'll be able to go from there. I'll be able to set up and, you know, just do something that's like really popping. Really popping. And that's another thing. Underneath this video, if you guys can leave comments, leave questions. Leave questions because it lets me know like this is a very interesting topic, and you know, for a lot of you, I'm pretty sure you guys want to hear what all of this consists of and the direction it goes in and everything else like that. So yeah, definitely leave questions, comments, concerns, you guys can still contact me on social media. I'm still Mix Butterfly on Instagram. I'm still AnAppleFromEve on Snapchat. You know, you guys can always reach out and just leave a I'm moving on up on the east side. Yeah, upgraded real quick. It's really crazy because once I started going to therapy and I started to get right with myself, I started making money moves. I got a new car. I got the new car and I found out that there's an issue with the transmission, which is fine because they have a recall on it. So I take it back and they fix it for free. But you know, I'm really doing something big with my life, and I want to take this YouTube thing to the next channel. I want to have a reboot of my blog. So I had a blog years ago, and it was a lot of Midwestern wives that was into it, which was like really weird to me, but it was about all of my exes, every last one of them. I want to get back into that. So that's another thing. Hey, Kim. Happy I'm back. Yeah, I've been going for a little minute, but I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club in case something jumps off. Nah, I haven't been to the club in forever. Ever. Oh, if there's anybody in Philly, if you guys are in Philly, I am going to the Halloween party on Saturday. It's my first time going out in forever, so I'm extremely excited. I will be there as a French maid. So I'm very excited about that. This has been on for like an hour. And so I know a lot of people had questions, and like I said, you guys can reach out on other branches of social media. But I think I'm going to wrap this up. So, any final comments, questions, or concerns? Okay. Sade, I see you. I see you jumped on over the Snapchat. I see. You're welcome, Shay. I'm really trying to bare my soul and get it out there. Like I said, there'll be moments that I'll smile. There'll be moments that I cry. And I want you guys to understand that it's all sincere. And hopefully in the future I can reach out to April so she can come and, you know, speak her piece. That would be nice. I would really enjoy that. Because she has an opinion. She has one. I don't know how she'll feel publicly talking about it, but she does have one. I'm going to get into all of that. I'm going to get into divorce, open relationships, and all of that. We're going to get into all of that one by one. I'll integrate fun things in there as well, but yeah. You're welcome, Latoya. Oh, you guys are great. Yeah. It's so crazy because, like I said, like I haven't been out in forever. So if you were in Philly, we'd be throwing back shots. A reconnection with who? With April? Ooh. If there's a reconnection, that shit not gonna be for years. Trust me, for years. I'm trying to reconnect with myself spiritually and monetarily. What about New York? Ooh, why did that just get like, ooh, that's weird. What just happened? Is it gotta focus? Do I look blurry to you guys? Because I see myself as being blurry and I don't understand why. What about New York? Like, would I go up to New York to party? Oh, here it is. It's much more clear. I haven't been to New York since my birthday. New York City. Now, New York State. I was up in New York the first week when I lived in Albany, so I went up to Albany the first week of September, and it was just to get away. Just to get away and chill and, you know, just relax and forget everything that was going on. So it was important that I got a chance to take a breather. But, yep. Brunies. I do have a lot of friends. I was actually thinking about moving down to Texas. That's another story. I'll tell you guys about that later. I definitely was considering moving down to Texas, but we'll get into that another time. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I've been flapping my gums for a whole hour. And I'm about to see if Rick and Morty is on because that shows thebomb.com. And I feel like this is like the love and hip hop commentary when I'm doing a lot of hand shit and stuff like that. It's really weird. The camera comes on and then you don't know what to do with your hands and you're like this, like 24/7, just like. Alright guys, try not to blow up my DMs because I feel like that's going to come sooner or later. But I'm definitely going to start posting more. I'll get on live more. I'll try and let you guys know when I'm going to get on live. As a matter of fact, I'll probably get on live on IG sometime soon too because there's a lot of people on IG that miss this. So, good night. And, yeah, good night. Just enjoy the rest of you guys' night. Bye.